Hi there, this is Mike from Mike's Life, and I just thought I'd make a short video today to share with you something that happened yesterday which was quite interesting on my website mikeslife.org. Essentially what happened was that Pete Cashmore from Mashable tweeted a post that I had, and the result, as you can imagine, was some fairly massive traffic. And I thought I'd share with you, first of all, what happened, the things I did right, and most importantly of all, the things I did wrong and the lessons I learned from the whole experience. But all in all, it was pretty exciting. Yesterday I posted what I would describe as a reasonable post, nothing special. It was called "Why Are Some Brands Cool?" and it was just reflecting on why some brands like Audi, for example, or Bang & Olufsen, or Apple are very, very cool brands and others aren't. The thing I did in it, which I didn't do deliberately and I didn't realise it would have any kind of effect, was mention Mashable. And I asked the question in the post, if Pete Cashmore was in his 40s and overweight, would Mashable be such a cool brand? And I was making the point that most of the brands we perceive to be cool are actually quite aesthetically attractive, and I understand that Pete Cashmore is. Anyway, so I put the post on, didn't think anything more of it, cooked some dinner for the family, sat down at my desk and suddenly realised that there was a huge amount of traffic going to the website. And at first I couldn't work out what had happened, and I actually tweeted about it. I said, wow, I'm getting some huge traffic on my website, and someone came straight back to me and said, Pete Cashmore has tweeted it. So I immediately put together a Twitter search on my URL, and found that not only had Pete tweeted it, but within the space of about 15 minutes, 20 or 25 people had retweeted it. And this went on for 2 hours, and I saw more traffic to that one post in 2 hours than I have in the month so far, and we're now on, I think it's day 23 of the month. So it was absolutely an astonishing effect. In all, during the course of the night, another 25 people retweeted it, and it actually got retweeted as late as 14 hours after the original one. So the traffic just continued and continued. A couple of observations about the traffic. Very transient, as you would expect. My bounce rate went from, normally it's around 55%, went to kind of 75%. I was disappointed that hardly anyone commented, but I did try and do something about that later, and not a lot else happened really. A few people signed up initially to the website, which was great, and a few people signed up to in fact a lot of people signed up to the RSS feed, which is fantastic. But as we know, with these kind of traffic spikes, they do tend to bring transient people to the site who don't really hang around, but if you can capture a percentage of them, that's great. So what did I do right? I guess the post was pretty good in the first place. As I say, it wasn't what I would describe as one of the all-time greats, but it was a reasonable post. Using Mashable and Pete Cashmore in there, I guess you would say I did the right thing there, but it really wasn't deliberate. I didn't set out to link bait him or try and get that kind of response. It never occurred to me for a moment that that's what would happen. Other things I did right, I posted 3 links to other pages in my website, all of which had a lot of visits at the bottom of the post. You know, one of those things where it says, if you enjoyed this, you might also enjoy. They also enjoyed a lot of traffic, which I was really, really pleased about. Other things I did right were being around when it actually happened, so at least I could kind of be on hand to handle comments and monitor the situation. And thank you InMotion Hosting, by the way, because the server held up to the onslaught, and I've heard that often that doesn't happen when he tweets a link. So those are the good things, if you like. Negatives from it, or lessons learned. Let's put it that way. For me, the most important one is that every time you do a post on your blog, you need to think that this is going to be the one that is going to go ballistic. And if you have that mindset in the few moments before you hit publish, and go back and check everything, you'll do well by it. Because if I'd known before I posted that it was going to go ballistic, I would have put a lot more links to other content in there, and most importantly of all, I would have checked one of the biggest links I had in there, which was to my Twitter page. And this is the biggest mistake I made. I realised within about half an hour that I was getting an awful lot of errors on the website, and when I went back to check the original post, immediately to the right of the post on the page I have a mini bio, and one of the things it says in there is follow me at Twitter @MikeCJ. Unfortunately the link was bad, and I didn't realise that. It's been bad for, I don't know, since I redesigned the site, which is about a week. And as a consequence, I think something like 1,700, 2,000 people clicked a bad link in the site, which is a real shame, because potentially I could have had another 1,700 Twitter followers, I guess, or at least they'd have looked at my Twitter profile and some would have chosen to follow me from that. So that was a big mistake. So the second big lesson for me is to check and double check that every link, not just in the post, but in the bits around the post, in the sidebar and so on, are good, and that they do work. I think that's it really. That kind of wraps it up. As I say, very, very exciting day. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention is this. I'm part of Darren Rouse's 31 Days to Build a Better Blog Challenge. And in the early phase of all this, I went into the forum there and told my fellow 31 DBBBers that this was happening, and it was quite exciting. And not only did I get loads of support and well dones and good on you kind of things, but also a lot of those people actually came to the blog and commented on the article. One or two have also written posts in a similar vein, which have linked back to it. So thank you to all of you. And for me, it's been one of the best things about the whole experience is the sense of community and camaraderie that has been created by this whole 31DBBB thing that Darren is running. So that's great, and thank you to all of you for your support. Yep, so that's it. Wrap up now. Exciting day, but head down, and I'm going to get on with writing some more good stuff, and hope the same thing happens again and again and again in the future.